So Nolan Wells' friends just did another interview with Officer Racist Man Tatum. And apparently, according to some people, they said it backfired and it turned out to be the stupidest thing they could have did. So let's watch it together and see what's going on, man. Justice for Nolan Wells. I don't care who did it or where they did it, why they did it. They need to find out who did it. They need to arrest that motherfucker.
The purpose of this new interview from Officer Tatum was for Nolan Wells' friends to garner sympathy from the public.
Right.
And it actually did the opposite, and you will see why.
I've been called out in public, and I haven't been in public that much. I know my friends have had encounters in public. The threats have been insane from, my stepmom and my dad, my mom, just everyone included, like even my brothers and my sisters. And it's just hard. I mean, it's unbelievable where like this has been taken to and the level where this is at.
When you say you've been called out in public, can you give me an example of like, what do you mean? People are threatening you with weapons? People are, not allowing you, denying you service? Because I heard that Tristan, he went to a corner store and they told him his money is not good there. They wouldn't even let him buy Gatorade.
Yeah.
Are you experiencing things like that or something totally different?
Right. I wouldn't say like that.
That's usually y'all. Why are y'all trying to get sympathy? This is what I can't stand about these people. Y'all trying to get sympathy, right? Y'all keep trying to get sympathy. Y'all keep trying to be the victims of the situation like y'all are the ones who died. Y'all did not die, bro. Nolan Wells died. And y'all were the last people around Nolan Wells when he died. Y'all are on phones. Why are y'all skipping over the fact that there is a leaked phone call of y'all screaming, is he dead? Is he dead? Is he dead? So sorry, no, your money ain't good at my corner store either, homie. Until the police come out and tell me that you ain't had nothing to do with it, your money not good here. You can't buy nothing from here. Go somewhere else. What the hell? It's amazing to me how they become the victims of somebody. The only thing you should be on any type of interview saying is, I had nothing to do with his murder. I hope that, if something did happen to him, you ain't heard them say nothing like this, by the way. I hope that if somebody did, if there was foul play, I hope that there was real justice for Nolan. That was my friend. I don't see no tears. I don't see nothing, bro. I don't see nothing. I just see a bunch of white boys on an interview trying to get sympathy for them so that they can start a GoFundMe and raise $100,000 so that they can pay their lawyers to sue motherfuckers. Y'all want sympathy for y'allself like y'all the victims when this boy is dead, gang. That's capped out.
I think I haven't been denied, anything, but like Tristan, it's hard to hear from a good friend of mine that he's getting denied a Gatorade. And
I guarantee you they're not about to bring up nothing about Nolan Wells. It's hard to hear this, that, the third. Was it hard to hear that was it hard to hear that your friend died? What about that? What about y'all having his phone? What about y'all washing that boat at 2, 3 o'clock in the fucking morning? What about the phone call where we hear y'all saying, is he dead? Is he dead? Is he dead? Like, what are we talking about, gang? Was that hard to hear, or is it just hard to hear because your white friends is going through some little shit because they are murder suspects?
Red Bull before work and having to, like, he calls me, he's like, dude, you won't believe what just happened. He got called out at Walmart. Someone called him out at Walmart and was like asking him all these questions and trying to press him about it. And it's crazy to me. Like,
why is it crazy?
We live in a very tight-knit community, and for people to, push back and say these things when they know what Ocean Springs is like, it's really hard. And I mean, I haven't had many personal encounters, but I know being around the guys and stuff like that, they have, so.
Tristan is the black kid, by the way, who did the interview with Tatum, who went off on the black community, who claimed that the black community has never been good to him. His white side has always been the best to him.
Right.
He went off on Nolan Wells' mama, went off on Benjamin Crump. Now, by the way, Tristan was somebody nobody knew of. Nobody had a picture of Tristan. Nobody included Tristan in his mess.
He included his damn self because he wanted some clout, and now he want to be the damn victim. Have you ever needed your paycheck to just come a little early? Like, yeah, you get paid on Friday, but it's Tuesday and you need the money now. There's a banking app called Current, and they got a whole bunch of super useful features on this app. And one of the best features is it lets you access up to $750 of your paycheck early if you qualify. With Current, you get a full list of features like paycheck advance, fee-free overdraft, the build card, and more. Now, Paycheck Advance is my favorite, but if you focused on building credit or if you just want a smoother way to manage your money, it handles everything in one app. And I know how I feel for your paycheck to be coming Friday, but you need your money Monday and it's an emergency and you need that money now and you can't get that money now because you gotta wait, but you can't wait. And that's why I partner with them. And right now they're giving $75 to anybody who signs up for the current app using the link that's in my description or scanning the QR code that's on the screen. If you scan the QR code, it'll take you straight to the sign up page where you can create your account. Just go through the normal sign up steps, enter your information, and order your current card. After you complete those steps, you'll see the option that pops up to enter my promo code. And that promo code is going to access your $75 when you switch your direct deposit. Make sure you go through the full sign up process so you do not miss out on the $75. If you ever feel like managing money is stressful or even just tight sometimes, it's definitely worth just checking out because that's literally what it's designed for. Helping people just like you stay more on top of your finances. He wanted all the attention. Now he crying about the attention that he begged for. Ain't nobody tell you to get on these interviews talking about shit, man. I ain't heard none of you so-called friends get on an interview. If God forbid, but if my friend ended up dead, I'm on an interview like this right here. Hey, y'all, we gonna find out what happened to Nolan. I promise you that. I don't know. Nolan was my friend. We gonna find out what happened to Nolan. I don't know what it is, but if something happened, if somebody did something to him, I'm gonna help his mom and his dad find any fucking information about my friend because that's my friend. We ain't heard y'all say none of that. Only thing y'all get on this bitch to say is, oh, Nolan wasn't talking about shit, and it could have been a black kid that killed him. And Nolan mama, I ain't even know him mama like that, man. It's crazy how they keep treating me this, that, the third.
Tristan inserted himself in this mess by requesting an interview with like NBC or ABC.
TMZ.
He's the one that inserted himself in this mess.
Yeah.
Tristan did. All right. So the fact that he inserted himself in this mess and now he's claiming victim to me is crazy. But just one more thing to point out. Before we address the actual claims that Tristan was being threatened, Tristan is one of the only black friends, right, in this friend group. And somehow Tristan, who's also being threatened, isn't being represented by the powerhouse Donald Trump attorney. Everybody you see there are being represented by Donald Trump's attorney, right? He's the guy who's filing defamation claims against everybody. Tristan isn't sitting there. Tristan is not being represented by the powerhouse attorney, right? Only the white kids are. This may be Tristan wake-up call, right? Trust me, I would know about wake-up calls, all right? Now, the Tristan situation, do I feel like people are looking at Tristan and really thinking that Tristan has something to do with this? I don't think so. Because for all accounts, Tristan left the island early. Tristan was never on the boat back or to. Tristan literally is not even a part of the situation. Tristan inserted himself because he's a clout chaser. He was trying to clout chase. And it looks like he got
same shit everybody do. Motherfucker get killed, not everybody know. I seen it happen in first-hand game. I seen a nigga get killed my freshman year who I used to hang around a little bit. I seen when he got killed, bro, and the news came to school. When I tell y'all everybody was acting like his friend, when I tell y'all, gang, this boy he wasn't no football player. He wasn't no quarterback. He wasn't cool to these. Nobody talked to him. His one friend was my homeboy's big brother. And he had like a few other acquaintances in the school. When I tell you everybody acting like they was sad, everybody acting like they just miss him so much. I'm talking about I ain't gonna say his name, but his nickname was something basically like he didn't talk to no damn body, bro. If he didn't know you, he didn't fucking talk to you. When I tell you the whole school acted like it was just, they knew him and it's rested. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's cool. It's one thing to just be like, rest in peace, everybody good. But when y'all start acting like y'all really knew him and shit, bro, that's
attention that he was so desperately seeking and craving. So we'll have to ask the local corner store owner, did you kick Tristan out? Did you kick him out of your store because of you believing that he's involved in Nolan Wall's death, or because of the things he said about Nolan Wall's mama, who's a beloved figure in the community, because of the things he said about the black community in Ocean Springs, right? I can almost guarantee you it's probably the latter, not the before, right? Because I don't think anybody thinks that Tristan murdered Nolan Wells, right? Because Tristan, again, was not involved. He's a clout chaser.
Right.
Okay? Now, it doesn't just stop at Tristan. They also told this story of when their life was in danger, but the story itself doesn't really add up, and it broke down as they told it.
Or what does that look like when you go out? People threaten you with weapons, or people trying to physically harm you, or people having to be restrained? What kind of engagement is happening when you guys go out?
We went to a restaurant, a couple of buddies of mine, and when we were, I wouldn't say threatening with weapons or anything, but I felt, and I know my friends felt, threat for our lives. I mean, I don't think...
No, so not threatened with weapons, but threatened for your lives. Okay. Damn.
No threats with weapons or anything, but he felt threatened for his life.
Get the fuck
Tell
outta
us
here,
more.
bro.
How did you feel threatened for your life?
There was like a fear factor, but at the same time, like it's awkward in public. Like I stated, like when we have to talk about these things, but we went to a restaurant and someone came up to me and was like, "Is this you?" And I was kind of like shaken up about it. Well, at first she asked like my name and like all these questions, and I was like, okay, whatever, she's just coming up to talk. Well, then she came up to me again and showed me our first interview and was like, "Are you sure this isn't you?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, that's me, like obviously." And she
So you felt threatened for your life with no weapons, nothing, by a girl who asked you, "Is this you?" Got it. Okay, this is where we at in the story so far, guys.
she kind of just, I looked at my buddy and I was like, "Yeah, we're leaving, like close everything out, like we're going."
Hold on, bruh. The woman came up and said, "Hey, is this you?" Then she came back and said, "Well, you sure it's not you?" And that right there.
See what I'm saying? They just want sympathy because they want to be the victims. They want the attention of being victims, bro. I went to school with a girl who lied about getting molested because she wanted attention. To the point, nigga, when I tell you the school, we had, bro, y'all, I'm gonna tell a story about that this is the crazy. Like, we had, this shit was going on. It was events going on. It was posters being posted. They was putting shit on the sexual assault awareness and all that. Turned out the bitch was lying. And guess what happened to her? Nothing. She didn't even get kicked out of school. When I tell you the whole school, the principal, gang, this is all they, like, what are you talking about, gang? Nothing happened to you. A girl asked you, "Is this you?" And you felt like you was threatened for your life? No, nigga, you want sympathy.
Was the threat that amounted to you feared for your life and you had to run out the place because a woman came up to you and asked you if this was you that did a very public interview.
Right.
Yo, what are we talking about here, man?
And that's the thing too, is like, y'all, okay, first you saying that you getting death threats and all this, but you keep doing interviews. You telling us you want to be left the fuck alone, but you're doing an interview on a platform with 4 million subscribers on it about your dead friend. You're not even talking about your dead friend, by the way. You're just talking about how they've treated you so bad. You ain't said rest. I ain't heard the nigga say rest in peace. We gonna find. I ain't heard these niggas say justice for Nolan. I ain't heard these niggas say nothing but just sympathy farming in these interviews. But you don't want no attention, though. You want everybody to leave you alone. You don't want no more death threats. You don't want no more none of this. Because if I don't want no more threats, I'm going to tell you, I'm not doing no more fucking interviews. Matter of fact, hey, can you take the interview down? I'm going to delete my Instagram. Ain't that what y'all did when Nolan first died? Y'all deleted y'all Instagram, right? How it come back? How y'all doing interviews and shit? What are we talking about?
Yo, it gets even more ridiculous when they keep talking. So far, the only quote-unquote threat on their life that they received is a woman came up and asked them if this was him that did the interview.
Clowns.
Multiple interviews with Officer Tatum.
Pure clowns.
And because she asked him, "Is this you?"
We had to get up out the restaurant.
That right there was a threat that amounted to a threat on his life.
That's
but
literally
it gets
what he
more
said,
ridiculous.
And
I can't believe my
I left, and there was an altercation after I left with some of my buddies that weren't involved in this at all. And they told my friends that they were going to kill them and they wanted to fight and all this like crazy stuff. I mean, I wasn't there, but my friends told me this, that what the people were saying to them was like totally just crazy. Like, I mean, there was people like that were, outside of this telling us like, "Hey, you need to leave before something happens because I know what could go down right now. And like, I know that these people are crazy."
He wasn't there. He never heard anybody say that. He never witnessed it. He wasn't there when it took place, but somehow he's repeating it as if it's facts. But here's the thing. The friend that starts speaking directly after him would say he never heard that part of the story before. He never heard that people's lives was threatened before. So,
bro, these
and they
people
both
crazy
were quote
as
unquote
hell, okay?
there. They both quote unquote left. So if your friends that were still inside came outside and told y'all, hey, they just threatened our life, why is your other friend, right, that's sitting next to you, I think his name is...
So you saying y'all was outside. So you trying to tell me y'all was outside, okay? The girl came up and threatened your life by asking you, is this you on the video? Then you walked outside the restaurant, and then some other people came up to your other friends who ain't have shit to do with nothing and said, we gonna kill y'all while y'all just standing outside. So they watched y'all stand outside and then threaten y'all friends in a restaurant. Okay.
Damn. Jackson, why is he telling, like Tatum and everybody, hey, I never heard that part of the story. Come on, bruh. It doesn't make sense whatsoever. And and if you guys were gonna come on air and come on this platform and present these stories or present these people as boogeymen and y'all as like innocent victims,
right?
Then y'all should have gotten y'all story straight before you guys came on this platform. Right? Because so far what we're hearing is no threats was made on your life, but you still ran out the building because she asked you if this was you on TikTok. You claiming your friends told you their life was quote unquote in danger, but you never witnessed it, you never saw it, you never heard it, and your other friend is saying he never heard anything like that.
So I mean, we all felt we were kind of shaken up about that. It was weird because it was our first encounter as a group, and I think it's also like just crazy that people will like look at you in the eye and tell you they'll kill you because they believe you killed your best friend and you have nothing to do with it.
Nolan Wall's best friends is Warren. According to you, Warren, Tristan said he's the best friend. Javon said he's the best friend. And let's just say those other guys that are there are saying that they're the best friend.
They got 7 best friends,
none of y'all have witnessed, have experienced somebody looking you in your eyes and telling you they're going to murder you. You guys have said that. So which one of the quote unquote best friends did that happen to? So Nolan, so the guys that were also...
Bro, like, the nigga just said 5 seconds ago, he just said that the people who they threatened didn't have nothing to do with it. Now it was his best friends that got threatened.
Store or in the restaurant, right? Those guys were also Nolan Wall's best friends. How many best friends do Nolan Wall have, bro?
Yeah, the whole Mississippi,
the entire
apparently.
town is Nolan Wall's best friend.
And Morgan and Jax, were you guys there?
Yes, we were there.
I was there.
I didn't hear the part where they said they were gonna kill him and stuff, but I did hear whenever she came up to him originally, she was like, "Hey, you have like TikTok or anything like that? Your face looks really familiar." And he was like,
"Bro, he told him to his face. I don't know what he's talking about in terms of they said they're gonna kill him. I wasn't there. I don't know what he's talking about. But I did, hear the lady come up to him and ask him if this was him on TikTok. Now do you see why people are so suspicious of these dudes? Now you see why people
everything they
these
say
dudes
sounds
so sketchy.
Stupid.
Like now do you see why?
Everything they say sounds stupid.
For a story where apparently they were all present, there's 5 different variations of this story. 5 different ones. Jax, who was apparently with Warren at the quote-unquote altercation, his description, his reiteration of what took place is completely different from Warren.
"No, I don't have TikTok, anything like that." And she was like, "Oh, okay." And then walked off and then came back with, like you said, the first interview on her phone and showing him. She's like, "So this isn't you. Either you have a doppelganger or this is you." And he was like, "Well, yeah, that's me." And then we got the check and we bounced and we were waiting outside for everybody else to get out of there. And while we're waiting outside is whenever some of our other buddies that aren't even on social media that we were just there with was...
I thought that Warren just said that was his best friends. Warren just said that his best friends got threatened.
He told that other people were going to kill them and all that kind of stuff.
Don't get that confused with people telling the quote-unquote friends that were still left, "We're going to get you." No.
Right.
Don't get that confused with that. They're about to clarify it up. What actually took place was a bystander or somebody essentially seen the woman come up to him asked him if this was him. He then got up and jetted out to the store. The bystander noticed what's going on, and the bystander told him, hey, you might want to leave, right? Because, these folks in this town, they're not playing. When they see you, they might get y'all. So a bystander told him these things, and they got spooked out and left.
So how did that make you guys feel did you think they were serious? Did you think it was just people trying to make a name for themselves by confronting you in front of others? Like, what was your take on that, Morgan?
I think it was just like, I was in the general area of where one of our buddies was, where this altercation happened.
The one that's currently speaking, he was still present. He was still there when these two was out the restaurant. He was still there. Here is him explaining what exactly took place and how Warren's quote-unquote idea of what took place is completely wrong and is contradictory to what he's about to say. Warren says they told him, we're going to kill you. We're going to get you. He's about to explain, well, I was there and
Nobody
all
told
I heard
him that.
was this bystander
Probably some
tell
old dude.
them, hey, y'all might want to leave because these people are not playing, which is completely different from the narrative that Tatum is trying to push out there.
This is three different fucking stories.
I actually got into a conversation with a fellow next to me that wasn't even involved, and he told me straight up, he was like, if I was y'all right now, I would leave before y'all get hurt. Y'all need to leave right now. I'm just watching out for y'all and making sure y'all are safe. And I mean, I wouldn't say that those people would have physically done something in that moment, but I think they were playing almost like a mental game. Like,
he was actually there, and that's entirely different.
Completely different story
Than the original story.
When it comes all the way down to it, nothing fucking happened to y'all. Y'all went to a restaurant and a girl asked you, is this you? Probably a white girl, because let's just be honest here, you're in Mississippi. A white girl probably walked up to you and said, is this you on TikTok? You look familiar. Then she came back up to you and said, is this you? Y'all got scared and left. Some other punk ass bystander said, hey, y'all should leave because I'm trying to look out for y'all. Woo-de-woo-de-woo. And y'all got scared and left. Then y'all got on an interview and act like somebody was trying to kill y'all. Nothing fucking happened to y'all. Y'all life wasn't threatened. Nobody had a weapon. Nobody touched you. Nobody put their hands on you. But you got to make it about you. You got to make it about you. You got to get all the attention because your best friend is dead, who we, to this day, we ain't seen you cry about him. We ain't seen you support his campaign to find out what happened. We never heard you say justice for Nolan. We never heard you say rest in peace to Nolan. We never heard you say I love Nolan. We never heard you say nothing. It sounded like Nolan was just some regular dude that you used to kick it with every now and then. And he died, and y'all using this as an opportunity to get y'all clout up. And that shit is weird, gang. Because what is this interview even about? Nothing happened to y'all. Like, what the fuck?
Which is, these monsters was telling us they was going to get us. They was going to take our lives, and we had to run up out of there, and our friends got threatened too. He's saying, man, listen, the lady came, man, she asked for, she asked dude if this was him on TikTok or in his interview. That's public, by the way. He got spooked and left. They were sitting there, like one of the other dudes told them, hey, y'all better get up out of here, man, because, these folks in this town don't play. If that's y'all, they're talking about regarding Nolan, man, y'all better leave. That's entirely different, bro. Right? Just entirely different, man. And to further add, right, to their really huge mistake in doing this interview with Tatum, they took some shots at Nolan Wall's mama. Now, my thing is this. If you guys are already hated, if you guys feel like you guys are already being given an unfair chance, do you think it's wise to lie on Nolan Wall's mom? So they go ahead and take some shots at Nolan Wall's mother and accuse her of doing things that she didn't do.
How do you think this should have played out? Because I always question in my mind that when I go back, I look at what happened, I look at the initial stories with Nolan, and you guys knew him, right? I didn't know him. I know none of you guys. I just had a chance to meet you guys more recently. But how do you think this should have gone? If you could control the environment, Nolan is found deceased, How do you guys think that this should have been put out to the world?
So first off, I wish that none of this would ever happen. I wish Nolan could still be here with us today. And I wish that, like I said, none of this would ever happen. Like, I wish that all this could be erased and Nolan could be here tomorrow. I mean, that's more than anything. But other than that, I feel like his mom blasting us on social media from the get-go.
She never did that.
That he was out there with Warren and another guy. That's where it first started to take off. And then also the fact that she posted a picture of me and Morgan and another guy and Nolan on the boat together, blasting that out there, pushing this narrative, kind of, I guess.
So basically you wanted her son to get killed and she don't say nothing, even though he lying about some of that shit. But so if your son ended up dead, would you not post a picture of the last picture that he was seen? And if it's some boys in that picture, okay, shit, they suspects too until I find out what happened to my son. Wouldn't that be a normal occurrence? What was she supposed to do? Was she supposed to accept? Was she supposed to accept the police officer words when he said it was no foul play? And then 3 weeks later, it's foul play?
I wish that would have never happened either, and I don't think it.
And remember, Nolan was missing before they found his body. Nolan was a missing person, so of course she's gonna post pictures of her fucking son who's missing on social media to say, "If you've seen my son, call me." What parent wouldn't? What the fuck?
Would have never happened. A lot of this stuff wouldn't have been as viral or gone all over the country at this point. I mean, this is a countrywide news story that is just blown out of proportion.
It's blown out of proportion. How do you know it's blown out of proportion, sir? So it's blown out of proportion? Why? Because few little punk ass white kids getting blamed for some shit? Oh well, bro. That's what happens. When you the last person around somebody that end up dead, you're a suspect. You at least gonna get questioned. You at least gonna be looked at. So you wanted the mom whose son died to not blow this out of proportion, to make your son, to be real calm about it, to not make it a national news story so she could find out what happened to her son. Because if it wasn't a national news story, I can guarantee you this, they would have never had an independent autopsy. The police would have been wrote it off as no foul play, accidental death, and the case would have been over with. There wouldn't be no investigation. Y'all sound fucking stupid. Y'all want the mom to do what's comfortable for your life when her son is dead. But, oh, I don't want to blow it out of proportion that her son is dead because they might blame the poor little Warren and poor little Morgan and poor little whatever the fuck y'all name is. Poor little y'all who getting blamed for it, who people are suspicious of. Poor little y'all, she supposed to think about that over thinking about her son that's deceased? Fuck you and your feelings, bro. That mama need to figure out, and that dad and that grandmama and all his real friends need to figure out what happened to him, just like anybody else who will pass away should happen. That should happen to anybody else who passes away. Loved ones should do the same shit. The fuck are you talking about?
And
the post where the mom posted their picture, where they're saying this is an example of the mom pushing a narrative or pushing racism, is a post where the mama is correcting a mistake she made. So at the time, the mama didn't have any pictures of Nolan on the island that day.
Right.
So she was telling people, yo, somebody told me he had on black swim trunks. Please, if you guys see my son, he has on black swim trunks. She then found out he had on blue swim trunks when she received this picture. So she began to post this picture of Nolan saying, yo, this is what he was wearing on the island that day.
Exactly.
If you guys see him, please let me know.
But that's blown out of proportion.
Nolan was still missing at the time. He was still missing.
Right.
This
is July 5th. Remember, he went to the island July 4th. So July 5th, he was still missing. They didn't find his body until July 6th. So this is probably the morning of July 5th when he didn't come home the night of July 4th.
It says nothing about race. this post does not accuse anybody in this picture of doing anything to Nolan. If you scroll up, the mama goes, anybody in this picture of doing anything to Nolan.
Were these pictures, because it's 2 black kids here, it's 3 black people here. What, were this suspicious too? Look at this dumbass comment. How many other black folks were out there? Did the boys he was with state why they left him? Why did he leave his group?
If you scroll up, the mama goes, yo, this is Nolan. He's been missing. If you guys see him, let me know. Right? She goes up and says, yo, me and my husband has been up for 48 hours. You know, we feel like our body is shutting down. If you guys can contact us, please let me know. Again, these pictures. Here's better pics from July 4th, where she's showing the world this is what Nolan was wearing. This is what Nolan looked like.
What is she
this is
supposed to
Nolan
do?
Wells. If you find him.
But oh, she's supposed to care. Again, she's supposed to care that the poor white kids might get blamed for this if I post a picture. So let me not post a picture of my son the last time he was fucking seen, even though he's missing. Because the white kids might get blamed.
Please let me know. She didn't know Nolan was dead yet. This was just her saying, yo, my son is missing. If you find him, let me know.
Right.
Now, the boys is saying, here's better pics from July 4th. He was wearing blue swim trunks, not black swim trunks. The boys is now saying that this post
blew it out of proportion.
Was her pushing the narrative. That post was her pushing racism. That post was the reason why people began to point their fingers at her, and they would have preferred, or rather, her not post their pictures or her post those pictures. So how is she going to find her son?
Exactly.
How is she going to notify her son?
She wasn't supposed to care. Apparently, according to them, she wasn't supposed to give a fuck about her son. She was supposed to care about the fact that they might get blamed for this.
Sorry, how is she going to notify the public of what her son looked like on that day? Yo, I don't understand. Like, I can understand going off on the content creators or going off on the YouTubers. I don't understand
why y'all keep
like going off on Nolan's mama. I don't understand accusing Nolan's parents of doing anything wrong.
She ain't did nothing.
All the parents are trying to do is find their son,
gang.
Her posting those pictures was not to accuse you guys of anything. They were saying, yo, this is what Nolan was wearing.
Right.
This is how he looked like. And those were the only pictures she had of him from the island. What they're doing to this mom is not okay and is not cool, bruh. Is not cool at all, man. Now, Donald Trump's attorney that's representing him, he stepped in afterwards and he made veiled threats. Now, here's the thing, bro. If you guys want to be sympathetic figures, you probably don't start off with making veiled threats like, oh, we're coming and it's gonna hurt. All right, son. Like, all right, bro. All right, man.
And Ed, as an attorney that's representing these boys, I mean, what does that make
this
you
the attorney?
Feel like,
Look at what this nigga got on. Man, I'm not taking this goofy ass nigga serious, man.
Do you feel like you got a good case here?
A good case of what?
What's your perspective in that? Because, people are online and
bro, these people are
obviously
insane,
they know
man.
who you are. Obviously they know you represented Donald Trump in some pretty high profile cases. And so now that you've joined, or at least now you work for the young men here, you hear them say things like they've been accosted, they've been,
clout too,
threatened online. Does that make your case a greater case, or
what case?
How do you work within what's happening to these young men?
Well, unfortunately, I wish there was no case. I wish this hadn't happened. But unfortunately, because these things did happen, there is a case, and now there's multiple cases. And I'm going to tell you something. If you're out there and you lied about these guys, you lied about my guys, you lied about Tyler's guys here, if you lied about Morgan, if you lied about Jax, if you lied about Warren, we're going to get you. And you're going to be hauled into court, you're going to be held accountable, and it's going to be very painful. And what I would say to the people who have done that is, now's your chance. If you want to apologize and retract before you find yourself in court, you should probably do that now. Because if you don't do that, once you're in court, now you just can't leave. You won't be able to get out of it.
Look at him smiling and
we're
laughing.
Not going to name names because there's some other folks who are doing that, and we want to be better than that. And I want to emphasize this, right? We're not here to guess. We're not here to speculate. We're only going to deal in facts, right? And here's the most important thing, right? We don't know how Nolan Wells died.
Yes,
no one here is saying we know.
Yes,
but
you
what
do.
we do know is
Y'all know.
Morgan,
Yeah,
Jax,
what y'all
and
talking
Warren had nothing whatsoever to do with Nolan Wells' death. And that's what's important. And unfortunately, because there are people who want to divide a town and come in from the outside and tell people what to think and pit neighbor against neighbor, it compounds the tragedy. It magnifies the tragedy. And I just want to say this. Here's why it's an even bigger tragedy. Because my friends here, Morgan, Jax, and Warren, these guys are not just the finest that Ocean Springs has to offer, the finest that Mississippi has to offer. These are the finest young men that America has to offer.
This
Bro,
interview
shut
is
the fuck
having the
up, bro.
opposite effect. Instead of
What are you
making them
talking
sympathetic
about,
figure,
gang?
when people hear them say that about Nolan Well's mom, they're
you
not
talking
sympathetic
about?
towards anything these kids got going on. Because these kids understand the mama is being hit with false complaints. The mama, like professional review is being bombarded with negative reviews,
Bro,
right, by white
this shit is
supremacists.
crazy, bro.
The mama is getting false complaints. The nursing board is investigating her, or they closed the investigation, but they started an investigation into it, and that stays on her record.
Right.
So they understand, right? The mama is being bombarded for simply asking what happened to my son. The mama has not brought up race at all.
Ain't said shit.
What happened to my son? And the fact that they are adding to the hate and compiling on the hate on their dead best friend's mama, to me, is just insane. We could take a look at.
Man, it's also insane that, listen, bro, this supposed to be your best friend, right? He died about a month and a week ago? When they found his body. Exactly 1 month and a week from 1 month and 6 days? So it's about a month ago. And we've seen them speak multiple times. There's no emotion involved at all. If I'm Warren and my best friend got killed, God forbid my best friend get killed, and I'm on an interview, I'm emotional, bro. My outlook would be, man, I don't care what y'all think. I just want to find out what happened to my friend. Like, I just want to know what happened to my friend. If he died and somebody did something, I want to find out. I want to know about it. I want his mom to be able to have some type of peace of mind. I want to be able to sleep better at night so I know what happened by knowing what happened to my best friend. And I know people are going to blame me because I was the last person with him, but I would never do nothing to my best friend. And the last time I saw him was this. We done already caught y'all in 56 lies, bro. So do I think that y'all killed him? Probably not. Do I think that somebody killed him, even if it was on accident? Yes, I do think that. Do I think that them niggas, them boys that were just on that interview, do I think they know more than what they telling us? Absolutely. That's what I think.
The response from this interview, and it would show it didn't have the intended effect that they wanted it to have. So one person stated, so they can go on interviews and give support, but the mother gets bashed for trying to find her son killer. All right, man, in response to them blaming the mama, right? And like,
Look at this dumbass. These comments are ridiculous. Almost like black folks want these boys to be guilty. You all are going to erode the little bit of trust left between the races. Social media is just exposing the pervasive racism in the black community, and you all think this will have. It has nothing to do with fucking race, bro. It has everything to do with the fact that these are the last boys who were around Nolan Wells before he mysteriously ended up dead. It has nothing to do with race. Nothing. What is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Do you know what do y'all know what racism is? Let me show you what racism definition. Okay? Racism is the belief that certain races are better than others. So it's beautiful to me how people just use that word so loosely. Racism means that I think another race of people is better than another race of people simply because of their race. Black people aren't saying that. Black people are saying that a black kid died. And we want to know how. We want to know why. And it looks suspicious. That's all we saying. We are not saying that black people are better than white people. Nobody said that. Nobody said white people are better. Nobody said that, bro. You're a fucking idiot.
One person says TMZ is invested in persuading people of those boys' innocence. Nolan was like his brother, but when he was missing, no one had any urgency to look for him or give his parents his phone.
Exactly.
She had to rely on Life 360 to locate the phone.
Exactly.
Side note, why are they talking to former officer, current content creator Tatum? Body language, they're saying is off. You know, and one person says, so is it true Nolan's phone was never turned over to the authorities and that allegedly...
Yeah, why Officer Tatum not asking these questions? Why he not asking these questions?
Nolan's mom has his phone. If so, why is she allowed to keep it since he's part of the case? Again, man, it's always the white AVR, right? It's always the white AVI, right? Bro, like, again, miss, they're calling them murderers, which again, I won't go that far until I get to know exactly what happened.
But they are suspected, bro. They have some type of suspicion in this case. So it's like, I don't know.
Calling them murderers, which again, I won't go that far until I get to know exactly what happened. But it didn't have the intended effect. It just didn't. It just didn't have the effect they wanted.
It's another one I'm about to react to right after this. Shout out to Flacco. I think is it this? It's this one. I haven't watched it yet, but man.